Welcome back. I'm sitting in my truck here in Qualicum Beach, Parksville area. Beautiful February day, approaching double digits, so spring is in the air. Loving that. And I'm just outside of Summit Log Home and Timber, their yard here where they're building our log house. And I'm about to pay an unannounced visit to Dave and the boys and just check up on things. Not for any other reason than just to get excited. I know they're doing a spectacular job. I'm not here to oversee anything, just to have a look and get excited. It's really strange to, have been dreaming about this and looking at the plans and seeing sort of conceptual drawings, and then to be here to see the actual log work coming together. And it's huge, like big logs and a big structure. So it's exciting. And yeah, so before I go in there into the yard and show you how things are going along here, I'll give you a quick overview of the property and just a quick glance at the blueprints to give you an idea of what the finished product is going to look like, and where on the property it's going to be in the other areas of the property, and then we'll go here and have a look and see how things are going. All right, so what we have here is an overview of the property from space, courtesy of Google's spy satellites. And you can see we have a lot of land to work with here, especially when you consider this little white box up in Bonesboro is my future shop garage. That has roughly a 1,300 square foot footprint, or your average sort of single family home footprint if it was a two-story home. And yeah, so then you take that into context of the entire property here, which actually extends about another 200 feet to the right here, not shown in the photograph. So that's a lot of land to work with. And considering we're not going the big heavy equipment route and bulldozers and everything, we're doing it by hand for two reasons. One, because we want to, maintain sort of the character of the property and not just bulldoze it flat. And two, because it's not in our budget to do any kind of big heavy equipment clearing anyways. So we're doing it old school. Yeah, up here is the marsh where it says wetland, and the pond. The blue line is the creek. The yellow line is the riparian zone setbacks that we have to abide by in terms of our structures, not building within those yellow lines. The white line is the driveway, and the silver lines are the roads that we've been cutting through the property. The hump that I featured in the last video is approximately here. And yeah, up here is Rose Hill and the Christmas tree forests that I mentioned in episode 2. Middle Earth up here is a part of the property that will forever remain wild. Really, really difficult to do anything there except maybe cut a hiking trail through. And Smuggler's Cove, which is over to the right here, is out of the picture, but it is a beautiful area. And the silver line, which represents the roads we've cut, actually does already extend up the property line on the right up to the corner pin. So, and there's Tinker's Nook, which we featured in episode 3, where I cleaned up that section of the creek. And the bridge that I featured in episode 1 is right there. So there's an overview of our property, roughly 3 football fields wide by 6 football fields long. That's Shadow Creek Ranch, my friends. Here we have our blueprints that we're going to be using to build our house. And these amazing looking renderings that actually look like photographs really capture what it's going to look like when it's done. I mentioned that it was all log work on the outside. It actually isn't all log work on the outside. These upper sections here and at the back of the house here, these are going to be conventional framing with board and batten cedar, but most of it is log work. So this is our front entry with a covered porch, and mine and Heather's bedroom up here, ensuite, and balcony facing west. And over here we have the wraparound porch, door into the laundry room, Shyla's bedroom here. And then if we go to the back of the house, double French doors out onto a deck, media room. And over here, great room. Well, this is all a great room, but fireplace in the great room. So yeah, and of course this is a 10-foot overhang, so you can get an idea of how large these logs are going to be to carry a 10-foot overhang in this this roof structure. So pretty impressive stuff. Let's go have a look at the real thing as it gets started. So here we are at Summit. I had a great meeting with Dave and James, the foreman, and Dave is one of the co-owners of the company. And yeah, they're going to town here, as you can hear. So here's a little peek at what they're doing. It's handcrafted log home, quality stuff. So this is our place, starting to take shape. Pretty exciting stuff. They're up, what, five courses on the log work. The house over to the right is not ours. That is one that they just completed and will be disassembling soon to take down to Utah. But yeah, this is ours. They got like 4 guys working on it right now. Chainsaws are buzzing. Planers are cleaning off the logs. And yeah, pretty exciting stuff. Check out the joinery here, man. This is beautiful stuff. And look at the size of these logs. Wow. All right, so we got a little bit of a different angle here. This is the front entry right there, and then the east side of the house, which will have the wraparound porch heading towards the back deck. They are absolutely using gorgeous logs here. They're just massive. This one here beside me, I'm hoping is going to be a ridge beam, and then they've got a bunch of other ones over there that are just cleaned up and beautiful, ready for action. So yeah, I can't wait to see this come together. We'll be checking in periodically over the next several weeks and watching the progress. So this is Christian over here, and he is taking the bark off the logs. This is old school, and yeah, that's a lot of work because Christian is turning these logs into these logs, and I guess the next step would actually be these, which then get turned into these. Wow, beautiful stuff. So just a quick update regarding the area that we call the Hump and on Winter Lane. First of all, the back behind me here, I showed you in the last video, Heather spent weeks, I mean weeks, clearing mountains of thorny brambles, huge bonfires every day. It just seemed to go on forever, but you know, it came out beautiful. It's still got to take a few trees out of there. But she's been working on the other side now. And I showed you that in the last video, sort of a before and after. And as you can see, it is coming along beautifully here. There's still a lot more to go, but this is about 4 or 5 days worth of clearing in here. And she's doing a great job. We're calling it this area Beaver Downs because there's quite a few trees here. I don't know if you can see that big dark one behind me. It's not around the bottom, completely around, but never came down. That was from the beavers that used to be here that were taken off the property before we moved on, and a few other trees down by beavers, so hence Beaver Downs. And the other thing here is the back side of the hump that I've finished, and I had to build a little bridge back there, culvert and rocks and about 30 tractor loads of gravel. But there you have the road into the dark forest and heading up to Rose Hill. So I'll give you a quick little boo of what that looks like starting here. This is the back side of the hump, and it was a lot of work to get it to look like this. About 30 tractor loads of dirt and a lot of leveling, and then I brought these stumps in from around the property just to kind of finish off the edges and a lot of wood chips, and then of course the bridge that I just talked about. Just looks like a bit of a puddle on either side right now, but it actually gets flowing pretty good when the rain comes. And as you can see, I had to put a culvert in, and you know, there you go, nice little bridge to get over the little tributary here. And then we head into the woods, and Rose Hill heads off this way. And it was pretty swampy in here, so I had to bring in again about 30 or maybe even 40 tractor loads of gravel just to get past this swamp area here, because it was bad. You know, if we tried to bring the tractor or the quad in here, we'd just get stuck. And so there we go. Now we got this beautiful little quad tractor road through the forest. And I know it looks really kind of tame and walkable right now, but I'm telling you, it didn't look like this before. It all looked like this before. Just brutal stuff. And even over here on the right hand side, the forest, I mean, if you go look closely in here, I mean, it's just a tremendous amount of trees. I mean, you couldn't even walk in here. This is just brutal stuff. So yeah, again, over time we'll thin it out, but this is the road now to Rose Hill, and then the rest of the way it's pretty good. We don't have to do any gravel, and it heads all the way up to the Christmas tree forest, and that's it.